I have a secret desire and I just cannot keep my mouth shut about it anymore. It's been way too long since I've talked to you, and we're gonna get into why in a minute. However, I just went through the biggest up level, the biggest transition of my life, and I'm here to explain it all. But the first news is your girl is doing a bodybuilding competition. I honestly can't even believe that I'm saying this out loud. It's been such a secret desire for so long. I found my competition coach. It all is happening so magically. And it's just time to tell the world. Like, it's time to honestly admit it to myself. So let's go back a couple of weeks because it all starts with this magical day. I was on the treadmill talking to one of my friends who I haven't seen at the gym in a while, and we were talking about coaching, and I was discussing how I really wanted to find a bodybuilding coach. I wanted to do a competition. Everybody says that you do as well as the coach that you have. With my past in health and fitness, I definitely blurred the line between healthy eating, disordered eating. I wasn't diagnosed with anything, but do I fully feel comfortable doing it alone? Absolutely not. And I want to make sure that I am doing this in the healthiest way possible. So I was talking to her, telling her about this secret desire, and she was like, how are you going to find a coach? And I was like, he's or she is going to find me when the time is right. And that's where I left it. Little did I know, I was walking out of my gym and said hello to my friend Steven, and he is not only a pro, but he also coaches pros for bodybuilding, and we had an entire conversation, literally an hour long, which poor dude, he was working, and boom, the magic started there. But with anything in life, I feel like anytime you're on an up level, the universe is going to challenge you. It's going to test you. So that's exactly what happened. The same day that I decided this, that I was like, okay, I'm going all in. I want to do this. Miss Nala, this beautiful queen of a dog, brought in fleas. Yeah, I know. You can only imagine how triggering that was for my Connecticut self. We don't do bugs. Apparently, I have found out from some of my friends and family that it actually is a little bit more common in Connecticut than I thought that it was. But for me, I always thought it was like a myth. I was like, no, like FLEAS? No, that's not a real thing. It most certainly is. It most certainly is. And it was so beautiful for me. I'm able to say that now. It uproared my entire life. I feel like I had never really felt so low since my breakup. That was the last time that I had really emotionally felt so disconnected from myself, so disconnected from my manifestations. But when I finally looked up what the spiritual meaning behind that sort of infestation is, it had a lot to do with fear and with clearing of energy. And of course, I just decided, hey, I found my bodybuilding coach. Hey, this happened a lot faster than I thought. Oh my God, this is like getting really real. And all of the fear started to come up. And then the same day, the exact same day, this happens. So that is why this video is so late. I sincerely apologize, but just keeping up with everyday life, if I'm honest with you, was hard. I was cleaning like 6 hours a week or a day because it's like, you have to spray, you have to vacuum, you have to give them baths, you have to comb them every single time they come inside. And we had gotten rid of it. I was so excited. And then we ended up getting them again round 2, which was just like literally the worst. And then I went to Greece for 2 weeks, which was so magical and just the reset that I needed. But needless to say, your girl had no time for anything at all. And the number one lesson that I learned from it was that I can do this shit. I can do it alone. Because one of the reasons why I have waited so long to do a bodybuilding competition was because, if I'm honest with you, like 100% transparent, even though I'm a coach, even though I tell women every single day that they can do whatever they want to do, we all have our own insecurities. And I had my own insecurities that I really needed to let go. It wasn't that I didn't think I could do a bodybuilding competition or even just do life in general. I feel like ever since being out on my own and living by myself and taking care of these two beautiful fur babies that I'm so lucky to have, I have learned that I can do it alone. However, I needed God to show me how strong I really was. And this was the exact situation to do so, but it also was the exact situation to release anything from my past. Because for me, I feel like this wasn't necessarily a journey that I had planned to do alone, but I guess I like always saw it as something that I was gonna do with somebody else right by my side. And what's so beautiful about that is that I still get that. I still get to do that with my bodybuilding competition coach, Steven, who we just literally love. He's so amazing. His family is so sweet. Our core values are like, checks all of the boxes off. And this was just my time to fully shed anything and everything that was not serving me, including thoughts. Our thoughts play a major role in our lives. And my one-on-one coach, she had asked me, she was like, Sammy, why were you an energetic match for this? Whereas my friend, who I was puppy sitting for her, so she was also exposed as well, neither time did they have as, I guess, like extreme of a situation as I did. And maybe that's because I had two pets. So like that also just, of course, like kind of like adds fuel to the fire. But it was my thoughts. Truly, it was. I was so scared. I was so paranoid. I was looking all the time being like, oh my God, why did this happen to me? I was freaking out about going to Greece. And my thoughts played such a major role of that happening. And I want to remind you that as easy as it is to manifest things that you do want, it is very easy to manifest things that you do not want. So please pay attention to your thoughts, because it was 100% my thoughts that were playing such a major role of why this took up a whole month of my life. But getting to go to Greece and Italy was the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience and reset for me. Because I don't know if you guys have heard of the laws of the universe, but there's one law that basically talks about that for every high high, there can be a low low. And for every low low, there can be a high high. So for me, this was making so much sense because in June, I had the highest of highs. I had the Lotus Lifts retreat. I went to Summer Smash. I was feeling fucking amazing. And then in July, it was like the low, 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 low of like dealing with the FLEAS. And then for August, it's honestly just been a high high since then. I went to Greece and Italy. I've had multiple training sessions with my coach Steven, which you'll see some of our things here. I'll tag a couple videos. But I've had multiple training sessions with him. The secret is out. I finally picked a date. I finally told my parents that they're gonna be flying in, which I'm so excited for. And life feels good again. But I just wanted to remind you that there's gonna be dark times, because the dark times, they help you remember what the light times are all about. So for me, it was so necessary for me to go through that, which at the time I could not say. At the time I could not understand why this was happening to me, but now I see it. And my coach Michaela, she always talks about how you realize things within 6 months or less. It's gonna make sense. And for me, it didn't even take that long. It just took a couple of weeks of it being done, of us being clear, of my house finally being back to normal. And I can see all of the lessons that it offered me. And I'm able to actually be grateful and appreciate those. So I want to encourage you to look back at a time that you have overcome something. How did it make you stronger? And how can that prove to you that you can do the other things that you want in life? Because when I first started talking to Steven about competing, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. And I told him that I was like, oh, I've never been on a stage before. Like, I've never posed before. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's so different. Obviously, I've lost 60 pounds and I've coached women for 3 years. But to do an actual bodybuilding competition, It is so different, especially working with someone who is a pro, who coaches pros. Like, I honestly hit the jackpot of all coaches, but guess what? It scared the shit out of me because the little voice in my head was like, well, Sammy, like, what if you're not good enough? And then when I went through the situation that I did, I realized, oh no, because of that, I am good enough. I am, because I got through it. And I wanted to tell you as well, that even if you're going through a hard time, you can still manifest what you do want. It's all about your thoughts and it's all about your beliefs. So I have a couple of updates for you. One update is that I manifested getting my yoga teacher training. So from September to December, you are going to be hearing a little bit more about that. I'm getting my 200-hour in vinyasa with my favorite yoga studio, Flow, and I'm so excited. Again, a little nervous. It's gonna be like such a big thing. It's gonna be so different, but I can't wait to add it to my repertoire. So that's a little update and thing that I manifested as well. And I also manifested going home for the holidays. This is gonna be the first time I go home for Christmas in a couple of years, and I cannot wait. I am literally so excited. And if you told me while the whole situation was happening and my house was in shambles and I was cleaning all the time and I was crying every day that I was gonna be manifesting these things at the same time, I probably would have laughed at you, but I just want to give you some like actual hardcore proof of, hey, even if you're going through a hard time, you can still call in the things that you want in life. You can still manifest. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about Greece and Italy, and I'm gonna take you around and we're gonna have a good recap because like I said, for every low, there's a high, and this trip was most certainly the highest high of my entire life.